Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it's your slightly over caffeinated, but always dedicated to the cause Buffyverse crew to talk about a couple of cool episodes from both Buffy and Angel, respectively. I'm joined by the full cast today of characters. Everybody come on in and say hi.
Hey
Hello.
there.
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Today we'll be talking about episodes, I think we're in the 13s now.
Yep, 13 and
Yep.
13.
Nice. We're back on track with the corresponding episodes, although they don't interconnect in any kind of, well, not at all, actually, but it doesn't really matter. It's totally fine. That happens a lot with the shows. And sometimes they interconnect, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the stories are similar, sometimes they're vastly different. But this is a lot of lore explored for Buffy going into, her initiation into the initiative. See what I did there? And then kind of a standalone episode for Angel, standard private investigative stuff. There is some lore building that does go in there, but we'll get to that. And those two episodes are the Iron Team and She. Want to give a little bit of a breakdown? Anyone? I'm going to just let whoever wants to jump in and give me a little exploration plot summary of the Iron Team for Buffy.
Uh,
Well, Buffy is basically introduced to the initiative, and Spike gets hunted again as well by asking for Giles for help. And that's mostly it. And this is where it's where we found out that we found out Karen's fucking project, Adam.
Yeah, I was going to say that this is probably Professor Walsh's best episode. namely because of, I mean, do you know what? I won't get into it. We'll get into it very soon.
So, basically, this red flags are all over the place. Now, when I originally watched this, I thought this is kind of cool. Buffy's going to have her, even as she says in the promo, Buffy's going to have her own tactical team. So I was like, okay, I could see that, but you had to know right away that this was not going to be good, and it's proven pretty quickly, in the episode. I do like the fact that the rest of the Scooby Gang is just sitting around playing poker on a regular night, and Buffy's out in the woods with Riley and his guys, and they're kind of testing each other's mettle. Now, it seems at the onset of it that this is a situation in which they're doing some sort of, high skill level training, because technically Buffy is a supernatural creature, right? So it would follow that, a supernatural creature, they're hunting a supernatural creature in the woods. Maybe they've got an entire area where they can do this kind of stuff. That would make sense from a military standpoint, where they wouldn't be seen or bothered or anything like that. And they could do some, PT training. They could do some ops training like that. And then, the supernatural creature that they're hunting down is, of course, Buffy. And then she cleans their clocks. And I think what does Maggie say? Like 28 seconds or something like that after. Yeah. So, and boy, she was really putting it to him too. She was throwing them around like rag dolls. And as Ian from Passion of the Nerd pointed out, Graham, who doesn't get a lot of screen time in the initiative crew, but he's so solid. He actually is like, hey, awesome job, Buffy. And it just makes you like him. It makes you wish we had a lot more of him and a lot less of Forrest. But that's okay.
I don't know. There's a part where I agree with Forrest concerning Riley and Buffy's relationship.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I mean, the simple fact that we see, Riley's got these puppy dog eyes. He's concentrating on Buffy. He's all excited about it, and he doesn't seem to have his head in the game.
Yeah.
At least he's not worrying about his, the troop welfare and the whole dynamic of it. Well, so that's what I see in it.
I mean, I hear you. I hear you, but if you,
it's a distraction. It's a distraction when you have your girlfriend at the same office you work at. So
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we've all had that one friend that your core group of friends that hang out, and then that one person gets a girlfriend, and that's always on the shoulder. It's like
I that's very true. That's valid, especially your point, Critter. I see what you did there, you bastard. But at the same time, I will say that if you had a group of monster hunting, soldier guys, and then all of a sudden, Black Widow joined your team and you were banging her, wouldn't you be like, this is pretty dope?
I would be all happy about it. I mean, any good leader would be like, okay, Riley, you're going to be on this team. Buffy, you're on this team.
Yeah. Also, Black Widow with like Captain America's strength.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just went 6 to midnight there.
Yeah, I know.
Daddy, when are we filming, Daddy? Come on, Daddy. Come on, Mama. Let's do it, Daddy. Let's do it. Let's film, Daddy.
Anyway, thank you, Khaleesi. But you can see the look on of obvious pride from Riley, and Maggie seems a little perturbed because I think she says something like it took them 3 hours to find you. When they finally did, you neutralized them in 28 seconds. And then of course the camera gives this look of dread as she's looking at it. Forrest immediately doesn't like it. Graham does. And it's interesting, the dynamic. You got to remember that Buffy's been running her own game for a long time. She, as a Slayer, is not supposed to be working with anybody. They have designed it that way for a purpose, as we've talked about before, and we will again. It's designed that she gets these powers and these abilities and stuff like that, but they're supposed to have short lives so that they don't start questioning stuff, which of course we know Buffy, she does question shit. And I love like she's wearing that shit. Why would she wear that shit?
I love how her outfit drives home the point that she's clearly not so much out of her element, but like the one odd man in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that she's acting like that dumb schoolgirl in a class full of academics, and she's like, "Will this thing be like Honey Treasure, or will it be all rampagey?"
Well, I'm gonna push back on you a little bit on that one. I think she should be doing that. I think she should be asking those questions because me in the military, I did ask if we went on a mission or something like that. Like if they were like, "Listen, Sergeant Kelly, get your crew and do this," I say, "Okay, Roger that." But then I would I'd go to the lieutenant and be like, "So wait, so what is this exactly we were doing, sir? Like, is this a Bobo mission, or are we really doing something here?" So, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's the whole, like, as Mr. E pointed out, there's the whole deal with, brand new and shiny relationship is happening. So, that's pulling Buffy away from the Scooby Gang. And then, Buffy's pulling Riley away from his crew. Graham seems to be perfectly content and happy with it. And definitely not only compliments Buffy to her face, but defends her behind her back. And you've got this kind of power couple because he's like a Timu Captain America himself, as we're going to find out later. And I dig it. I'm not sure how much I dig this Snyder cut slow-mo fucking interconnected
that was
thing.
a bit weird as well. It's it's probably trying to establish that. Yeah, fighting together gets them horny. So yeah, we get it. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
it's very Nazis, though, isn't it? It's very
one at a time.
Nazis.
One at a time. One at a time, guys. One at a time. All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I kind of like the juxtaposition between the fighting and the smooching. So I kind of like that. I mean, maybe a little bit clunky, but I kind of like
Did your wife know you like that, or is that just something you do like when
me and my wife fight all the time in closed short arm combat? So.
Okay, tell me more off stage. I want to hear more about it. But then it's very 90s, noir vibey, kind of like Silk Stockings, Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh yeah.
If you it's giving those vibes. So I'm glad everybody knew what I was talking about, because usually when I bring up those shows, people are like, Silk Stockings, Red Shoe Diaries. What are you talking about? That soft core porny type thing. And to make it worse, Mama Maggie is sitting there watching him on the phone. What is wrong with you?
That was creepy.
Creepy.
In a dark room and everything.
Everybody always complains that when she gets killed off, spoiler alert, that went off like, dude, I didn't like her. I didn't think she added anything to this, like, at all.
I think her character was totally underused. I mean, they just made her to you could tell there was something off from the get-go when she was introduced.
Yeah, she's just a Karen.
Right.
I mean, I had already seen her in that fucking, McDonald's divorce movie that coincidentally, that they had in like 95, or forget what it's called, but with Paul Reiser. But coincidentally, also Eliza Dushku is in that fucking movie. I don't know what the name of it is, but look it up. It's if you type in 90s McDonald's divorce movie, you'll have that, because it's like these divorced dads pick up their kids. And anyway, she plays the ex-wife, and of course she's a gash. But anyway. So yeah, we're getting a vibe right away that Buffy is not fitting in with this, hence the Iron team. There is no Iron team. You can't be an individual. And there's two parts of me. There's the part of me that's a military. Listen, you get an order, you take an order, you do an order. I get it. But at the same time, I'm also I was I'm going to just tell you guys, if you haven't guessed by now, I was a bad soldier. I know that seems strange for somebody that spent 15 years in the military. I was not a good soldier. I was a great sergeant, but I was a horrible soldier. So I mean, it's not that I didn't follow orders, but I mean, I only followed the orders that I was going to do anyway, which is something that I actually steal from Buffy. So Buffy and Riley fuck for the first time, I guess, or it's either they fuck or they have their first good fuck. I'm not really sure which.
I think it's their first.
I think so too.
I mean, why else would we have the slow-mo scene and make it all? I mean, because to me, if this is your first time, especially after any kind of combat, you're just gonna get straight to the fucking. I mean,
right. I mean, I think butt stuff is definitely implied. But anyway, Maggie sees Buffy as a threat because of course she does. And then because not only is she not following and towing the line, she's kind of making Riley think for himself a little too much, and that's not going to work. I love this right here. The whole when she sends Buffy on the Bobo mission and Buffy pops up on the screen behind her. And now I'm not sure how her fucking head cam was supposed to be able to tell her heartbeat. How does that work? Like that seems wildly.
Is there something? Is there like any kind of blood vessel in your forehead? I mean, your head?
I mean, I guess so, but I don't think it would get. I mean, did you never do medical training in the military? Like, I've never taken anybody's pulse or blood pressure reading, but they're on their head.
The only medical training we get in the Marine Corps is they hand us a magazine full of ammunition.
Yeah,
I killed them. Dead.
I think I misunderstood. I thought her tracker was removed and she still had some of her equipment. Like the tracker floated down the sewer. I guess I misunderstood that sequence. Whatever.
No, but I do like Maggie giving the bullshit story to Riley with fucking Buffy on the screen behind her, fucking being just a fucking baller with Professor Walsh. Yeah, if you think a couple of demons can take out a Slayer, then you really don't know what a Slayer is. Believe me when I tell you, you're gonna find out. It's like, oh shit. I was like, God damn, Buffy.
I love how you can, like, I don't know, headcanon this away with just like prophetic Slayer reflexes or something. But I love how even though Buffy can't see Professor Walsh, or shouldn't be able to, if that's just some kind of like head tracker, she still has like the timing of the speech.
Yes,
she waits until she's finished and then does the whole like monologue.
Yeah.
Like, wait, if you're just looking into a camera with like no mic or anything, how do you know when to start speaking?
Oh yeah, good point. Good.
She was probably thinking, please, may Maggie be giving some bullshit stories to Riley so I can look cool doing it. Please.
Yeah. And poor Maggie is just realizes her mistake, and then we get the whole evil monologue thing that happens right after this.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing. I can't believe
it. And then of course Maggie gets fucking impaled by the creation and the big fucking monster robot thing, which again, definitely a cool concept, but not done well. By the way, this I know I'm always like glazing Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds game, but if you can get it, that's a really fun level where they have to find different pieces of a demon warrior in order to put her back together to stop this like multiverse thing from taking over the world, and they all have to split up and do side missions. You get to play a bunch of different characters, including Spike, and Spike has to get one of the pieces from the initiative, and you have to fight a bunch of zombie soldiers and Adam. And Adam's a motherfucker to fight. Even though you have a bunch of weapons, he is a hard, difficult motherfucker to fight. And that's basically where the final boss thing for Spike's level is, right there in the initiative drop zone area, which I thought was cool. They really recreated good. If you guys can find it, even if you just look it up on YouTube, it's super fun just to look at a little bit. It's definitely a fun game. I mean, the graphics aren't great, but I don't really give a shit about that as long as it's fun gameplay. But this guy's hilarious. I mean, I think they should have done more with him. I think he's good for what he is, but they definitely could have made him if they'd have had a better. He's supposed to be the little boss, and was supposed to have been the big boss, and then he winds up just being the big boss, and Spike winds up being kind of the little boss a little bit, and that's that didn't really work out or whatever, and that's the unevenness of this season. But at the same time, I'm not unhappy with it. Like I still think back on this episode very fondly, where we start gearing up and going into. And it did take a while to get here, and some people have a problem with this, but I don't have a problem with this episode at all. I like it. It has a lot of good stuff to it. We also get this cool Anya. Now, this will be the first of a couple times where Anya is involved in some sort of gameplay. And once she realized, the money is her biggest focus, she does really, really well. She gets all excited when it's like the chips represent money. And when she wins, we'll do this again next season when I think they play in the Game of Life or something like that with Dawn. And then she's like, can I trade the children for money? Bye Bye Love 1995. Thank you, my continuity expert. You never let me down, buddy, except when you do. But yeah, Bye Bye Love, great fucking movie. If you can find Bye Bye Love, also watch that.
I thought you were leaving. That's what I read.
No. It's the name of the movie that I was referencing with Maggie Walsh and Eliza Dushku is in it. So yeah, we get a lot of world building on both ends of this. This is basically telling us exactly where the story is going to go. It introduces us to our quote unquote big bad of the season, and it's all pretty cool, man. I just dig the whole thing. I like everything in this. So anyway, I have my favorite quote pointed out. And you've just heard what I think of the episode, but we'll go in order. Northern, what's your thoughts on this? And what's your favorite quote?
I mean, it's still very funny. It's not my favorite episode, but it does progress the plot a little bit more. And this time we get rid of Maggie for Adam, which, even though he's not my favorite big bad, he is still a better one in comparison to Maggie, in my opinion. But the scenes with Spike and Giles are actually very funny. I mean, and it does lead to one of my favorite quotes. I'll admit it's a bit of a fixer-upper, needs a woman's touch, care to have a crack at it, so. And we do get a little bit of a callback to when Spike helped out Giles, and it does sort of like lead a little bit more into Spike, being this guy, this hired sort of gun for them as well later on in the series before he becomes a proper ally. And that's really it. It's just an okay episode that progresses the plot, and that's it. That's my entire overall view on it. And I do like Buffy being cute as well, even when she's been when she's actually showing some initiative. Like, is he after treasure or is he rampaging? Because even though she's got every right to ask those questions, she's still kind of fucking adorable when she goes a bit goofy and says silly lines like that.
I like what you said. I like how you work the initiative and showing initiative in there. I know it was a total accident.
Oh yeah.
There's no way you could have come up with that on your own. What is your favorite quote of the episode?
Oh yeah, I'll admit it's a bit of a fixer-upper. Needs a woman's touch. Care to have a crack at it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, great. Next.
Yeah, I didn't. I definitely didn't dislike the episode. It's Maggie Walsh's best episode because she tries to take out the Slayer, fails quite dramatically, and then tries to bring out the big gun and gets killed by it. My favorite quote has to be it's between two. Okay, right now I'll tell you what, I'll pick one. Spike is asking Giles for help, and Giles says, and he goes, and he says, why should I help you? And he goes, well, because I helped you. And he goes, oh, I suppose you did that out of the evilness of your heart. He goes, no, I made you pay me for. Oh. I love like the way they look at each other during that entire exchange as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, Critter.
I like the episode. It's not a banger of one, but it was still enjoyable. It does move to echo what everyone else is saying. It moves the plot along. I kind of wish Maggie did more or was just around for a few more. It just seemed like they kind of rushed it out, whatever. But I just liked her as a villain. I would have liked to see more of her. Anyway, I like the shock. For me, it was a nice shock as Adam stabs her through the heart. And my quote is where Adam goes, "Mommy." Yeah, liked the episode. Enjoyed it.
Okay, great. Quote? Did you? The mommy,
Mommy,
is your quote?
He says, "Mommy."
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm going to
Mr.
be
E?
honest. I'm going to be honest. I was happy to see this one all season. I felt like it was just stuck in second gear, dragging along, and I'm like, finally, we're shifting gears. We're starting to build momentum.
Yeah.
And overall, it was a good episode. I mean, by this time, I've actually bought a TiVo and was able to rewatch it, which was great.
TiVo. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm dating myself there.
TiVo, buddy. TiVo. TiVo. Okay. Okay.
That's the name I've not
Right next
heard
to
in
your
a long time.
ColecoVision.
Oh yeah. Favorite quote.
Yeah, favorite quote, please.
Forrest, when he was talking to Riley, he's like, "Yes." Riley was talking about Buffy, and he's like, "Yes, already. She's hot. I mean, she's cool. She's hot. She's tempered. She's all temperature, Buffy. Now, can we concentrate on the game here?"
Is that this episode?
Yeah, that was this episode.
Hmm.
That's when they were sitting down. Were they in the common area?
Okay. All right. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm almost certain it's this one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because that's always been my favorite Forrest quote. I mean, if you ever ask me, I vote that this is the one I went to, and I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I've got a couple from this episode in particular, but obviously the banger is going to be Buffy giving that fucking speech. The whole if you think throwing me down there with a malfunctioning weapon with just 2 demons is enough to kill a Slayer, you have no idea what a Slayer is. Believe me when I tell you, you're gonna find out. I was like, oh my god, it's so fucking ball. I still think about that to this day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
So let's just jump into Angel, shall we? The Angel episode, She. Okay, so I'll just get it out of the way. I'm not going to bury the lead. I like this episode, and I don't understand our counterpart over at Passion of the Nerd hating on this episode so much. I'd like to talk to him someday and see if he could change his opinion. If he's been known to jump on other, since he's the George R.R. Martin of fucking YouTube these days with doing 2 videos a year. I'm wondering. I have seen him guest appearance on other people's Buffy and Angel shows, so I'm gonna reach out to him with you guys' permission and see if we can get him to jump on some one of the more iconic episodes or something like that he wants to talk about, because I have seen him do that. Unfortunately, I've only seen him do it on chicks, teenage chicks, fucking rewatches and shit. So it's we don't have any teenage chicks, so I don't know how he would do with all these fucking alpha males. Maybe I could have Toonie Boy do it, since Toonie's pretty beta. And
Toonie Boy, how do you look at dress?
I can always suit up. We'll see.
I feel like Toonie Boy, getting a hold. He's like, I don't want to be a bit way too much of a. Don't think it's too forward of me, Mr. Ian. But I would so much appreciate if you could take some time and jump on our Buffyverse show on Sundays. If you could, it would be delightful.
I would definitely do that.
Was that a pretty good? I feel like that was a really good Toonie Boy impression.
If you're saying he's on there with just teenage girls, I don't want to wind up on an episode of Catch a Predator.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts.
Take a seat, Mr. E. Just take a seat.
Yeah,
you never know. We might all get some subs from it if we're on there.
I mean, that motherfucker's got some big ass subs though, for real. He is got some numbers. And listen, at the end of the day, man. So I can tease them a little bit. I tease the drinker, but at the same time, these guys are icons. These are the guys that I watch the most content from, and I spent probably a lot of 2016 when I first found his channel and just like binged the fuck out of it and just watched like every single episode. And like when a new episode of his pops up, I mean, they're all bangers. I've never seen a bad episode of the show, even if I disagree with his opinion. But and I do on this one because he really dragged this episode. But anyway, we'll get into that. Maybe I'm in the wrong. I have no idea. But we have Cordelia having a house party, which that's such a Cordy thing to do. And then we just got all these random people. But you know, the brilliance of this show is they bring these random people in, and not only are they sort of fucking charming, because I feel like I wouldn't like LA people, but this does for Angel, his ancillary characters do for LA kind of what Swingers, the movie, did for LA, where they make the characters funny and quirky and charming, and they don't seem like the LA people that, you know, we see on the news and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they seem actually like cool, and you know, it's very believable. It's also extremely believable that Angel would be uncomfortable as fuck in this. Wesley's goofy shit is dialed up to 11, so I'm kind of conflicted because it is funny, but at the same time, knowing what we know in the long run of Wesley, it kind of makes me feel bad because we know why he's acting like this, and I don't like it. It gives me a bad. It just kind of hurts me because he's my absolute favorite character in all of the Whedonverse, and it really just bothers me seeing him, you know, written this way. And maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe that's not how you're supposed to look at stuff like that. Maybe you're supposed to just enjoy the character development, but knowing that, you know, because of the abuse and the shit from his dad, that's why he kind of acts like this, you know, bumbling goofball when he's actually really competent, you know, demon hunter. It doesn't make me feel good. So, but anyway, I mean, it is a funny scene though with the girl. He's in one moment he's telling Angel, "Hey, let's chat up some of these fillies around here," and then this chick like throws him up an audible, just lobs it at him, and he just completely fucks it up. Because we've all had the friends like that. I mean, well, we're all friends with Toonie Boy, so I really feel like this is how Toonie Boy would act at a party.
Yeah,
he would spaz it up so fast. I didn't knit this sweater.
Well, I mean, I would not like that, but I'd say something stupid without even realizing that it's stupid.
Yeah, but Angel realizes it's stupid right here. And I like the fact that while, you know, Wesley still is having a good time though. And I like that this smoking hot light skinned black chick, who again, following suit from the last episode, is another chick that was in Playboy. I don't know if these just Playboy chicks just kept popping up on fucking random episodes of Angel, but I
wonder if Joss Whedon was casting them to sleep with them. I wouldn't blame him. I
mean, just these, and now, I mean, I get it though. I mean, they show up on other shows too, to be fair. But I mean,
I also think that when you do Playboy, part of the other attempt is to get on TV shows and movies and so I mean, I think a lot of these playmates, hey, extras, small parts, so they kind of hope to promote their exposure.
Yeah, I found this chick to be just as delightful as the last light-skinned black chick from Playboy that was on the last one, and not just because she looks good. I thought she was charming. I thought she was
a good line where she says she had like a big art degree and it's helped her get this shitty little job in LA, which has nothing to do with her art degree, and she's having a good laugh about it.
She's self-deprecating and she's just kind of throwing it. I mean, because I mean, look at him, dude. I mean, listen, I'd be throwing it at him at this party. I mean, he's fucking, you know, all these other like brightly dressed, you know, rape tech fucking douche boys at the party, and Angel's this brooding fucking, you know, I mean, of course chicks are gonna vibe towards him, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't know how to respond. And of course we get the amazing scene of you know, when she asks him to dance, that is so good. They not only have it in the episode, they put it a larger extended cut in the ending credits, and it's fucking amazing. So hang on a second, let me put up my little banner real quick, lest we get hit with the copyright gods. But I mean, we all know what's coming here, and it's baller as fuck.
He stole my moves.
Yeah, he has my fear of dancing. It's the same thing. I'm just like, nope, don't dance.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. No, because apparently he is a bit of a goofball in real life, and here he is playing this very, very brooding.
I love the fact that it's well known that David Boreanaz is a big old fucking goofball in real life. Where he always plays like these. Yeah. I never really watched what was that thing where he was the FBI? Bones. I never really watched Bones, but I had a roommate in the army, and she was obsessed with that show. She had like every season up to like a certain the newest season had come out or whatever. And I remember buying that for her, and you would have thought I donated her a kidney. She was so happy with she almost started crying. She was like, "Oh my God, I love this show so much." I'm like, "I know, I've seen it on your shelf, and this is the newest one." She was like, "Oh my God." She hugged me. I was like, "Okay, ooh, you're being gross now." So, but anyway, no, nothing happened. I don't mix stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, he doesn't dance, and he decides to go off and sulk in a corner. I love that Dennis is just pulls a chair out for him. Ghost Dennis is a reminder, the place that Cordelia got is haunted, but the ghost, be the what is the word? The subversion of expectations. The ghost is actually super nice, and he just does nice things for you all the time. Dennis is great. Yeah, everybody loves Dennis.
Doesn't he didn't he get him a beer or something? Or,
yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's a fucking pal, man. That's a pal.
That's a good.
Hand you a beer when you're feeling down in the dumps. That's good.
Yeah. Angel's line, "Hey Dennis, how you doing? Still dead?" I can relate. And so this next thing is called a 2-up action shot. I learned. Also, thank you, Passion of the Nerd Ian, where one character does something in one scene and then unrelated, then someone does, then we see this guy who we're going to find out later is a security guy, picks up a beer out of a chest of ice and then opens up some sort of crate, obviously a crate of some kind. He's sent there to guard, and we're going to find out later he gets his eyes melted out. Here's the thing. I've been doing security for quite a while. I've never drank on the job. Number 2, I've never had an urge to hey, I'm bored and curious. Let me get a crowbar and break open the thing that I'm fucking protecting. What the fuck? This guy is horrible at his job. He sucks. It's worst security guy ever. The next day after the party, Angel's getting, kind of called to task, but not too bad. She's sort of over his bullshit, but is just kind of politely busting his balls a little bit about look, you can just be nice to people and hang out. And, and I imagine probably in the original inception of this episode, this is when Doyle was still alive. And this was probably a conversation he had with Doyle, reminding him that he has to see these as people and get more into the world and things like that. That's what I imagine. That could be wrong, but it feels right to me. It feels like that's something that's accurate. Because remember, at this point, we still should have had Doyle. So I feel like some of these conversations were Doyle dialogue that's been transferred over to Cordy. And then Wesley bumbles in, and Angel, of course, doing his private detective thing, realizes that Wesley's broke, he's hungry, and Angel gives him a job. And cute little line from Cordelia, "Do I have to take a pay cut?" "No, welcome to the team." And then Wesley tries to hug. Now this is interesting because of course he wouldn't hug, but later, a couple seasons from now, after being away for a while, he does in fact hug. He hugs Wesley a lot on the show. If you ever see a Wesley and Angel compilation, there's a lot of scenes of them being best friends and hugging and shit. So I like that there's that kind of thing. Can't help but think that the whole Tony Stark Spider-Man thing, it wasn't kind of stolen from this idea. And then, of course, Cordy gets a vision, and it's a vision of what happened to the security guy. Now, why she would have a vision so late is usually plot do ex machina or whatever, or lazy writing, as we like to say. But in this instance, it's actually accurate, knowing what we know about the entirety of the plot, which is, of course, that the security guy wasn't up to any good, and he was hired by these, incel, take apart women type thing, genital mutilation type guys that are, the patriarchy, I guess, of their dimension. And look at this guy's fucking business card. His business card is terrible. Peter Wilkers, that's the big font that you want to have on your security business card. I'm not going to show my business card because I don't want to dox myself and cause a problem, but trust me when I tell you guys, my business card's way fucking better. So
just to defend the horrible font, it might have been because it's a TV show and it had to be large enough to be seen. but they also just could have said the guy's name.
Yeah,
You know,
but who would who could have? It wouldn't. But does that really matter? Continuity expert, because he could have just said, "I read it in his name." It said on his card.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So why they did that? I'm like, well, so people watching would see the name, but you just say the guy's name and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's a terrible business card. It was really thrown together cheaply. This is interesting. Look at this top right corner slide. Is that not sunlight hitting Angel's face right there?
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean, I was kind of wondering.
Was
He's
that
going
not
out in the
direct
daylight
sunlight?
here. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know, but it looks like
we see him pull up outside the warehouse in fucking daylight, sun shining, everything.
Yeah, I know they can't do every episode in the darkness, but Jesus, this is really infringing on the lore. And then he meets the guy, and of course it's a big subversion that this guy, there's a monster that attacked these guys, but we're going to find out that it's these guys that are the bad guys and the monsters are actually the good guys. Angel does some digging into the situation, and he's like, well, I'm going to go and take a look at, well, you guys do research. I'm going to go take a look at this guy's office. Now, he gets to use his Batarang repel stuff, but does he really need this? Because we see in other episodes later, especially when he turns into Angelus, he just like flings himself on top of buildings and shit. So why did he need this? Is that it's his power is very inconsistent.
Yeah, for the first series, they do seem to try to turn him into Batman a little bit, though. Like, the dark brooding Avenger detective type. But
well, I got to tell you that I hate to shatter you guys' illusions, but I've been a private detective for a while, and I don't have any Batarang fucking graphic.
Oh, you're spoiling the fuck. You're spoiling
I
the.
know.
Maybe for Angel, it's easier to jump off buildings than to climb up buildings.
Right, but we see later on, like I know for a fact I've seen Angel in other stuff where he's just like shimmying up. Yeah, he's jumping up on like building to build. I don't know, man. There had to be a better reason for that. I don't know. I mean, I guess they wanted to use the toys and stuff like that, and that's fine. And yeah, so he gets in there, and lo and behold, the person that he's looking for, that he thinks is actually the bad guy or whatever, is motherfucking it's Bai Ling and her huge boobs. I don't know why that picture came up like that. I just I googled Bai Ling Angel, and that's what popped up. I swear to God. But anyway, so she's in there, and she makes short work of Angel, punches him in his knockout button, and she gets a call on her flip phone about something happening that she's got to get to. Angel recovers, gets on his flip phone, and says another one of my favorite lines from I'm probably stealing somebody's line here, but when he starts having cell phone problems, because cell phones in the 90s were notorious for, especially the flip phone ones, that they would be having so much trouble with them that it would just be like, hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And so during this whole conversation with Cordy, very relatable. And again, Ian makes fun of this, and I'm like, I think this is like good comedy gold here. It's also kind of practical. This is the kind of shit that happens in private detective work. You're basically in your car, on the cell phone, and you're just like coordinating stuff or surveilling people or following people and trying not to be seen while you're following people and giving somebody else your directions and blah blah. Especially if you work with a team, which he clearly does. I love his line. Like, man, these things are aggravating. I swear they were made by a bored warlock. And so he gets in there, and Bai Ling she's got some moves herself, because she manages to figure out, one, that she's being followed, two, that it's somebody that's maybe dangerous, and three, she she plays into it and gets security, tells them some bullshit. She basically pulls well, this is ironic that Joss Whedon wrote this, and then this is exactly what happens to him, because this bitch lies on him and gets the cops to come after him. And Angel pulls some cool private detective shit. This is like the second time that we get to see some cool private detective shit from Angel, where he gets to pretend like he's, he takes, buttons up his shirt, takes off the jacket, because he knows he's been spoofed, and he needs to keep surveilling and can't be getting slowed down by the cops and the security guards and management at the art dealership. So he decides, hey, I got to pretend to be some sort of host, or what's the word for these people?
Tour guide.
Tour guide. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. It's early. Not enough coffee in my system yet. And I think this is a cool scene. It gets to show it's another scene that we see him doing like undercover shit. And in the lore, Angel has a photographic memory. Now, whether or not that happened before or after he became a vampire is not super clear, but it is like established that he has a photographic memory. So all of the stuff that he's, that's a cool way to write your character, because you can basically have your character do anything that you want in those given situations as long as you stay consistent with it, which they do in the show, which is pretty good.
And this brings us to Manet's incomparable La Musique, Old Tuileries, first exhibited in 1863.
So yeah, it's I like it. It shows that he's definitely grown into his job as a private detective. And I guess are these chicks, like her people, are just randomly spawning all over town, or was she shipping them in these crates at the art dealership because it's precious cargo and they'd be less likely to be found?
I thought she was shipping them to get them into the ice tubs.
But why are they in one place, like in a warehouse in one area, and then they're like showing up at this place and at the art dealership? Like, what? I don't get the logic in that. Is that just because they're randomly spawning into these places, or is she like just human trafficking them or demon trafficking them, and she's just got to find like different spots that she can until they get awakened or whatever? Is that I feel like that second might be a little bit too much headcanon on my part, but it seems like that's what it would be.
Yeah, couldn't she have sent it to the place where Sean Gunn works or lives? Because
oh yeah, oh good point. Oh, I was gonna mention that. You kind of jumped on it. Yeah. So Sean Gunn, brother of James Gunn, who's in all of his projects, actually shows up here as like what is he, like the spa manager?
Yeah, it's like someone who takes care of them, doesn't he? He keeps them all on ice.
A facilitator of some kind. But yeah, I don't know why do they why does these first two like show up in random places? Like I wasn't really clear on that. So I'm not sure if that's something that I'm just not understanding or the obvious.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
They do say that what's her name again? The main demon chick who was like the first who escaped. The
Bai Ling, or the main?
Is that her? Right.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to pronounce her name
it's Bai Ling.
Well, that's her real name. That's not her name in the show, though.
Right. Okay. Anyway, because she does say something about how the other demon women are coming through like portals, right? We don't see the portals, but I'm pretty sure she does have a line saying that that's how they get here.
So they are just randomly spawning all over town, right?
Well, I'm not sure exactly. Like, well, there's probably some like place that they know to come to sort of like start the, like, I don't know, like not a hiding place exactly, but a place where they're not just gonna like drop into the middle of the road in heavy traffic. Like they're gonna there's probably some place where they come from their dimension to a quiet place on Earth somewhere.
I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Is what I imagine, at least anyway.
I'm assuming they it spawned theirs because basically it was in the script.
Well, that's the actual reason, yeah. But I mean, I think in universe we're supposed to believe that there's like an agreed
wrong.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. E. That's very, very useful.
Distance is the French poet and critic Baudelaire, a friend of the artist now. Baudelaire, interesting fellow.
He's a lot short. He's a lot taller and drunker than depicted.
I like the fact that Angel like really plays into this, because I think he takes this a little bit farther than it needs to be at this point. You know what I mean? Like
the guards leave and then he carries on.
Yeah, he's like, I want to at least finish my speech.
Come into my heart. He strongly believed that evil forces surrounded mankind.
This is a cool little juxtaposition of not only the show. You could headcanon that maybe he I don't know when the Baudelaire thing actually happened, but maybe it happened within Angel's lifetime, and maybe he fucking ran into him. I mean, I guess it's clearly implied.
That's what I took. That this is him just basically firsthand knowledge. Like, yes, it's probably true, but like he's coming from a spot where like, oh yeah, I met these guys and this is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Baudelaire, what's his name, was in the 18th century.
Oh, okay, so conceivably, Angel could have run into him.
Yeah.
So I absolutely enjoyed that whole sequence where he kind of like he's pretending to be a tour guide and then just spitting out technically memories from his past.
Yeah, I had they had left a door open. I like to be nosy, and so on one of my trips to Regal Cinema, I have a Regal Cinema uniform shirt that I have acquired, and so every now and then I'll just to make sure my game is good, and then on days when I don't really do this anymore because I don't have time for it, but I'll go to Regal Cinema with my shirt on, and I'll just with a clipboard and walk in from the back door and just start bossing people around, and they think I'm from like Regal management or something like that. I like to do that just to see if my game's still tight. So and
hook yourself up with some free popcorn.
Oh, I can't stand popcorn because I worked at a movie theater back in the day, and it just grosses me out at this point. But
and I thought I was bad for going to Target on Christmas Eve dressed in a red polo pants.
you bastard.
I love it. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. I like basically everything in this thing, you know. And of course, you know, Wesley gets to show off a little bit of martial arts skills when they have the big fight. It's not that, and they manage to save the day. Although Wesley has a really cringy line. I don't know if. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Early morning phlegm. Wesley has a really cringy line when they save one of the chicks, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a bit stiff here in the pants area. You know, you could check if you'd like." I was like, "Whoa, holy shit, Wesley!"
I kind of had this question as well. Are the women's giving off some kind of like,
pheromone?
Pheromone to make them horny? Because I think they mentioned something like that.
I think so. I think that's what's going on. I'm not really.
Yeah, I think that's why the other alternate dimension guys were trying to neuter them to prevent them from giving off the hormone, the pheromone.
Well, that's certainly what they do in West Africa. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, it's actually offensive in West Africa for that term "sand in the vagina." You know where that comes from? Africa, because they'll purposely, after they mutilate a woman's genitals, if she has an orgasm, it's considered disrespectful. When she marries you, you have to make sure in order to make sure she bleeds on purpose, they'll like rub sand in her vagina after mutilating her genitals and stuff. And a lot of women die from that shit. So, you know, but they do have really cool daycares in Minnesota, apparently.
Oh, Jesus.
So, that's,
you mean Leering daycares?
A leering center. But yeah, they wind up having a whole thing where they save the day. Bai Ling had come about in this episode primarily because she was really famous at the time for guess what she was famous for right at this time?
Playboy,
yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
Did hurt her. She was supposed to also appear in episode 1 Star Wars: A Phantom Menace, but her parts were cut because of
do not mute me. Lucas denied that she was cut from the film before she appeared in Playboy.
Why was she cut in the film then?
For pacing, and I mean, come on, that film's a bit of a mess. For pacing, she just got.
That was cut, but not
Jar Jar Binks.
All the Jar Jar Binks stuff got to stay.
Listen, decisions were made, and they were terrible.
Also, if there's gonna be like any reason to have a movie be 3 hours, this is a good one.
Yeah.
What would you rather see, Jar Jar Binks or this? So
movies.
And I don't really like Asians usually because they don't have this kind of appendages. You know, they tend to be a little bit straight up and straight down. But I don't know if Bai Ling is mixed with something or whatever. But this is some good stuff. And what is that offensive?
Like she's a cake recipe mixed with
I'm just
something.
saying. Like it just let's look at that body. Usually Asians don't have that. I mean, I don't know if those things are real or store bought or you know what the deal is, but I mean. This is a hot Asian. I'd throw a shot into this one. You know, I mean, even though their facial expressions don't change, I bet I could make her change an expression every now and then. You know what I mean? Sorry, is that offensive? Is that
no? I mean, I could say
I like that one, huh? Well, me so Sally. Oh, so.
What's he gonna do next? The flapping dickie?
Uh-oh, I'm losing him. Time for the A material. Hey, hey! Also, me like how the flies light. Me flap on.
That will always be funny. Anyway,
it's playing that episode. It's playing that at least once an episode, like an obligatory.
as much as I can, as much as I could possibly do it. But yeah, Team Angel is officially formed. Wesley's officially part of the team and does well for himself. And yeah, I like it. I like this episode. I would have liked to have seen Bailing and her incredible fire and boob power come back, but she never does. She does come back in the comic though, after the fall. Which is really cool because they bring back all the ancillary characters that have powers and shit, and they become like an event, like a supernatural Team Angel, like Avengers assemble thing in order to fight off the hordes. But we'll get to that. I'm gonna find a way to find the stop motion stuff for that, and we'll if you guys are into it, and we'll do something like that. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. A lot of great quotes in it. Maybe I guess the board warlock thing is probably my favorite in it, and I don't know why it gets so much hate because and it's a standalone, I wouldn't say candy episode. Some of the lore is built in this episode, like I said, Wesley joining the team properly and Angel doing more private detective shit, but I mean not too much is going on with it. And then of course the incredible dance off that him and Wesley have. So Northern, what's your thoughts and favorite quote?
Yeah, I do like this episode as well. I mean, especially we're seeing Wesley kind of sort of evolve a little bit and handle himself. He's still a bit bumbling, but the cast will work well. And Barlene looks smoking hot, and it's a shame we didn't see more of her as this sort of like femme fatale because she looks cool. She's a cool character, even though she does kind of get let off a little bit due to some innocent people getting charred to death due to Hess trying to get these women saved, transported, sorry. And as for my quote, it's got to be, here's the plan. We go in, I start hitting people hard in the face, see where it takes us.
I like that. That's actually a great quote. All right. Excellent. Toonie, go for it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I need a monologue here for a second. First of all, I did really enjoy the episode. Now, why is this a thing that keeps happening where they establish like a cool and interesting character or something like that, and then you'll get to the end of the episode and it leaves off on a kind of spooky note where you think, all right, it's not, they could come back again. They'll leave it open ended. We could be seeing more of them. They could be coming back, but we don't know when. It's left open ended. It's not like they're definitely coming back, but we could definitely do something with them in the future. And then they never do. I feel like it's a recurring thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's a problem on both shows, if I'm being honest. They try to rectify it a little bit in season 4 with Electric Gwen. But I guess ultimately it would be down to the availability of the actor or actress. I would guess. I know in her part, like she started to get in that actress whose name I don't know, did a bunch of movies. So being a recurring character on a TV show, it seems like it's more possible now, but back then, I guess scheduling and pacing and things like that, they were cranking out 22 episode seasons. Maybe the availability just wasn't there. And again,
just didn't know. They just didn't know what they had. That's the thing. I several times this season they could have had mini arcs or reoccurring characters that would have made sense and probably livened the season up. But I don't know if it was just the simple fact that they didn't know what they had or didn't have the budget or both.
I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, but I will say, the graphic novel series that carries on, basically Angel season 6, so to speak, it brings back all these characters. So it pays off. It definitely rewards longtime viewership because all these, Electro Gwen comes back, Kate comes back, they have the, because Angel is, poke the bear, not to spoil, the finale of Angel, but Angel has really poked the bear, and him and his 4-man team that's left is like looking like they're down for the count, and then this entire wave of reinforcements arrive in order to kind of save the day and just stave off the werewolf girl, like just about anybody that was like even a one-time character. Gru comes back, and they just create this kind of Avengers team to kind of save LA or whatever. So it's pretty cool. If you have a means to do so, look at it. And even if you don't, trust me, we're going to get to it. Even if I have to do it by myself, I'm definitely going to revisit it, even if I have to like scan the graphic novel and like paste it up there in stills. I'm willing to do that just so I could share it with everybody who was unhappy with the rather abrupt, really good but really abrupt finale of Angel. So anyway,
See, that's the problem. I don't know if I wanted to see it for the simple fact that I loved how it ended, even though I hated that it ended.
I mean, yeah, man, it's really it really it works. It doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't take anything away from the ending of Angel, but it does. It's basically, I mean, it's almost fan fiction, except that Joss wrote it. So I mean, it's not really fan fiction. So
right.
Make of that what you will. Toonie, did you say your favorite quote or no?
I don't know if it's the exact. I don't know if it's the exact quote, but it's when
it's okay. It's okay.
It's when Wesley gets the job with Angel, and he keeps like offering to basically do everything for him, and then I think is it Angel or Cordelia that says, "Wesley, stop sucking up."
Yeah. How much did you relate to Wesley in this episode? Because I'm watching this episode, I'm like, God damn, that's Toonie Boy through and through in this episode. I was like, this is total Toonie Boy vibes right here.
Wesley probably I didn't like consciously relate to Wesley. He probably is just as much of a goofball as I am, instead of just making stupid comments. But really, the thing that I related to the most was when the woman asked, the woman was like really into Angel, and then he dropped the ball like right at the end. It was like she asked him to dance, and he was like, I don't dance, because he pictured himself essentially making like a fool of himself, didn't he? Like, because everyone, I mean, he was dancing, but everybody around him was just sort of looking really awkwardly at him. And I was like, yeah, that's probably why I just try to avoid dancing full stop, to be honest, because I'm not good at it.
Totally fair. Yeah, I hear you. I actually can dance my ass off. So, I mean, although the next day my knee screams at me for such a travesty and betrayal, but it is what it is. Critter, thoughts on the episode, and do you have a favorite quote?
I do. I enjoyed the episode. It was very uncomfortable when I realized the parallels to some of the traditions overseas to what they were doing to these women, and that one sequence where the one is actually being have that metal probe on the back of her neck, and she screams like, "Oh God, this is uncomfortable." Like the episode, the dance sequence was great. My favorite quote, apparently, Laura is the name of the girl at the party. And Laura says, "So with my master's degree in fine arts, I was able to launch my very own business, selling sandwiches downtown from a little cart."
She was charming, wasn't she?
She was. Nice, charming, I would almost say filled out minor character.
Yeah. I guess that's you. It's your turn, Mr. E.
All right. Well, I enjoyed the episode mainly because I was in love with Ling Ling here, and
Ling Ling.
Isn't that a panda?
I don't know, but she can. I don't know. Anyway, this actually, I don't know. I don't know why a lot of people don't like this episode, and from what I heard, it's either made people too uncomfortable or whatnot. I don't know. Maybe they're just a little bunch of pansies, but to me, it was a good episode. I was, Angels had a lot of misses this season. It's first season, they're still working out, figuring it out. Like I said,
finding their legs, getting their steam legs. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of ways they dropped the ball and not picking up this character, at least for a few episodes, or reoccurring. But other than that, I mean, my quote was the board troll when referring to the cell phone.
Yeah. So, okay. Did everybody get a chance? I think everybody got a chance.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, great. Yeah, that's us done on on that. A couple good, interesting episodes. Interesting. I'd like to do a one episode or like a compilation thing of talking about all the interesting people like Sean Gunn that came in here and did a brief cameo earlier in their career on this, because it's quite extensive. It's more extensive than you might think that it is, because believe me, I've seen some of these TikToks or compilation videos talking about this stuff, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, a couple good solid episodes. We kept it at an hour, and that's all that I want to cut. So thanks, guys. Stay toxic, and we'll see you next week.
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You are the Slayer.
Into each generation, a Slayer is born.
Why don't we start with, hi, I'm Buffy.
Xander.
Cordelia. Willow, right?
Mr. Giles.
Angel.